Happy Monday, coming off a 2-0 Sunday, and we got a 12-game slate. Let's talk some baseball. What's going on, everyone? Welcome back in to another episode for Just a Bet Outside. I am your host, Steven. You heard it in the cold intro, a 2-0 Sunday, one of my greatest accomplishments in my life, just behind getting my wife to marry me, having some kids, college, things like that. Sundays are freaking hard, guys. It's about dang time we got some winners. Friday and Saturday, not quite the same, but we'll go over all the bets recap in a second. And before we get into anything, I got to mention that promo we have with Better Bet, as I've talked about before. That's BTR Bet. For new users right now, you can get 30 days free if you sign up using the promo code JABO. It's an incredible deal. We've talked about it before. It's one of my favorite tools for finding bets, analyzing your betting performance. And now's your chance to make the NBA playoffs pay off for you, as well as the MLB, of course. Just use that promo code JABO. It's incredible. You got nothing to lose. You get 30 days free, plus you still get the 7-day free trial. If you're serious about betting, I highly, highly recommend this website. So that link is below in the description. So that's what we got. As you guys know, no NBA playoff game on Monday, which means there's no video. Otherwise, I would just be staring at the camera, and that'd be a little awkward. But I'm really sick of this middling crap in the MLB, to be honest with you, and the bets. But we're going to get some winners this week. Hopefully, we can get this turned around and just sweep the board all week. That would be insane. But anyways, baseball betting is ridiculously hard, as you guys know. So if you are new to the channel, just an alert. This channel, you will get a ton of research help, as much, if not more, than any other channel out there. We're going to give you a ton to start your bets and start your betting day with pitcher reports, hitter matchups, all that kind of stuff. You guys that have been watching already know that. So hopefully we can get some winners, but I'm ready to get right into it, and that starts with the baseball fun fact. Here you go. This is random, too. At 15 years old, Joe Nuxhall was the youngest player to ever play in the MLB. That's wild to me. I never even heard that name. In 1944, many players were called into service, and his dad, who is also an MLB manager, declined a professional contract, which allowed his son to play. He made one start, didn't do that great, went back to the minors, came back 8 years later, and had a decent career. Random stat. Do you care? Probably not, but that's a baseball fun fact. So in this video, we are going to talk about the recap from the weekend. And then we got, of course, a lot of info to give you. The good hitter matchups. And then because it's Monday, we're going to give you the aces of bases. We didn't do it last week, so we're going to do the last 15 days, the most total bases in the MLB the last couple weeks. And then we have the good pitcher strikeout matchups for you. And then, of course, the pitcher report for all 12 games. And we wrap it up with the best bets and the bets recap. All right, hit that like button. Leave a comment below like you guys have been doing every single day. We are oh so close to 25,000 subscribers, if I can talk. Thank you guys so much for the support. I appreciate it. I'm ready to get back after it for another week. And that starts with the recap. All right, there it is. It was a 4 and 5 weekend on the best bets. Just writing down some notes because putting every single bet here would just be too much. But 1 and 2 on those RBI props for a quarter unit each. We hit Shohei Ohtani, so that was a very, very small loss there. But we lost 3 pitcher props. I mean, they came out just horrendous. Bryce Miller came out, gave up 5 runs in the first, and then dominated the rest of the game. Fell 2 outs short. But the one winner we did have, we hit a hitter parlay because those are the only ones that are hitting for us the last couple days. And then Saturday, we lost Walker Buehler outs. He just easily dominated the Reds and went over the outs prop. And then we lost the Red Sox money line, tied 2-2 late in the game. Bullpen completely melts down, and they lose 7-2. But of course, we cashed the hitter parlay. That was the winner. And then Sunday, the 2-0 sweep heard across the world. Hit Brewers team total over 2.5 I had, and Aaron Judge 1+ hit. And then Carlos Rodon, a plus 125 winner for him to record the win. And he got the job done. The Yankees won 7-2 that game. So that's what we got. That's the overall record. 95 and 96, minus 4.96 units. I'm ready to turn around. I know it will. So let's stay confident. Let's keep grinding. Use that bankroll management. But before we get into those best bets, let's talk some good hitter matchups. All right, we got 16 good hitter matchups for you today, and it starts out with a couple White Sox hitters, Eloy Jimenez and Andrew Benintendi, both hitting Jose Barrios pretty well, but not much better than Taylor Ward for the Angels, 12 for 26, hitting almost 500 with 2 extra base hits versus Framber Valdez, the lefty. Javi Baez is up here, but I never recommend betting Javi Baez. He is probably one of the bottom 5 worst MLB players in the game right now. It's just wild. He's making millions. But Luis Arias, 7 for 20, not too shabby. Only one extra base hit, but that's just what Luis does. And so on and so on. Other than that, you got a couple Astros like Pena down there on the left, and then Jose Altuve also 4 for 11, hitting the lefty Reed Detmers, and then so on and so on. Bobby Witt hitting 4 for 7 versus Reese's Pieces Olsen. So that's the hitter matchups for May 20th. And now let's talk the aces of bases. All right, here we go. We are doing the last 15 days this time, which actually I might like this better. We might be doing this every other Monday and give you more of a sample size instead of 7 days. But we got Aaron Judge. It's about dang time. Aaron Judge is now starting to heat up. He has 48 total bases, crushing the majors in total bases last 15 days. And we got a lot of big names up here. Kyle Tucker, Jose Ramirez, Rafael Devers, Shohei, Harper. I mean, the list goes on and on. Not Brent Rooker, but anyways, he is hitting the ball well. And so on and so on. So that's the first 10 and how many bases they have over the last 15 days. Let's check out page 2 now. And Eddie Rosario, Giancarlo, so on and so on. And then we got a 5-way tie at 29 bases down there. A couple surprises, couple not. Look at Alex Bregman, finally on something that shows he can hit without a garbage can. Anyways, I just don't like him, guys. That's all it is. But either way, that's the top 20 for the most total bases in the last 15 days. And now let's talk some arms. All right, we got 3 good pitcher strikeout matchups for you today, and now I am starting to do the last 3 weeks. I've been doing the entire season, but we're now, a month and a half or so into the season, so I'm going to do the last 3 weeks, see how teams have been hitting. So the first one, Dylan Cease of the Padres going up against the Braves. Again, this is game 1. There is a doubleheader. This game he is starting is game 1, 12:20 p.m. Eastern, 9:20 a.m. for me. That is insane. Braves, third highest strikeout percentage versus righties in the last 3 weeks. That's right. They have been striking out a lot. 26.7%. Dylan Cease, 68 Ks, 55 innings. And just some notes, he has 8 or more Ks in 4 of his last 5 starts, including a 12 strikeout performance at Wrigley Field against the Cubbies. And then the second one, well, we just had this not too long ago, the exact matchup, Taj Bradley versus the Red Sox. Red Sox, this was on the border. 11th highest Ks percentage versus righties last 3 weeks, almost 24%. Taj Bradley's only made 2 starts. He has 13 Ks in 11 innings. He had 129 Ks in 104.2 innings last season, just to kind of give you an idea. In his last start, which was against this exact same Boston Red Sox team, he got 6 Ks. I know because I bet his over 5.5, and he barely won for us. So then the third one, again, another borderline one, but it's on the other side of the same game. Tanner Houck against the Tampa Bay Rays. Rays, 7th highest K percentage versus righties in the last 3 weeks at 24.3%. And then Houck, 57 Ks in 58 innings. This is why it was kind of on the border of, how great of a K guy he is, because he's been a little inconsistent. But in his last start versus the Rays, he had 7 strikeouts. But his Ks lately, 7, 4, 5, 9, and 4. Like I said, it's been a little up and down. So depending on where that number lands, just wanted to point that out. He's been a little bit more inconsistent. So that's the pitcher strikeout matchup. Take a screenshot. Hopefully that helps you get some winners. And now it's time for the pitcher report. All right, these are the first 6 matchups of the day. If you are new to this channel and have not seen it before, all the averages are on the bottom, and you can see we got walk percentage, K percentage, hits per 9, any sort of bets that you want to make. This should be able to help you. We want to make sure this page is something you just start your day with and just kind of help dig in from there with your best bets. But we got some decent matchups. Eric Fedde throwing the ball really well since he came over from Korea. Great pickup by the White Sox, 2.68 expected ERA. Limiting hits at only 7.1 hits per 9 innings. And then he's going up against Jose Barrios, who we talked about all year. He's due for negative regression. Still had a good season so far, but as you can see by that high expected ERA, low K rate, things like that. But the best matchup on this page has got to be Dylan Cease versus Reynaldo Lopez, both with ERAs under 2.5 and both high strikeout guys. So that should be an interesting matchup there. Other than that, we got Pablo Lopez down there, 28.7% K rate. About a 4 ERA, but he's due for some positive regression as well. And then Taj Bradley and Tanner Houck just went against each other's teams just recently. So Bradley does show he is due for negative regression. It's 2 starts. It's 11 innings, so it is a small sample size. But take a screenshot. Hopefully this helps you get some winners. Let's go check out page 2. All right, page 2 starts us out with that Logan Gilbert versus Marcus Stroman battle in the Bronx. We got Gilbert's been throwing unbelievable this year. 3.07 ERA, 27.4% K rate. He's been solid in only 5.8 hits per inning, per 9 innings. It's been incredible. The lowest on this page right now. But other than that, we got some inconsistent pitchers like Reed Detmers. Framber Valdez has actually been a little bit better lately. But that's a good matchup between some lefties. And then Reese Olson. I mean, I watched his last game because I had his over pitching ouch, and he looked good. I mean, he really does. He's got some off speed that looks good. But 2.87 expected ERA, 0.99 WHIP. He has looked pretty solid. So other than that, we got Yamamoto for the Dodgers, who's been pretty lights out since the beginning of the season. Those first few starts going up against a youngster and Sachoni, I think you say it, for the D-backs. So that's a mismatch there for the Dodgers, obviously. But yeah, take a screenshot. Hopefully this helps you get some winners. As you can see down there on the bottom, that is game 2 as of right now. Chris Sale versus Randy Vasquez of the Padres. Sale's been unbelievable. It's wild. He's found his youth. As you can see, a 2.5 ERA, 30% K rate. Just been very lights out, especially with that 4.1% walk rate. So anyways, that's what we got for all the matchups for May 20th. And now it's time for the best bets. All right, game 1 takes us out to the Bronx, where the Yankees are hosting my Seattle Mariners. Yankees money line minus 135, Mariners money line plus 114 with a total of 7.5 runs. I'm going to get right into it, and I got the total. Give me the over 7.5. I got this at minus 122 on FanDuel, and I gave it out on Discord right away. Some books have 8, some have 7.5. Obviously, I still like it at 8. You just have that push now if it hits 8. But we have Marcus Stroman taking on Logan Gilbert. So first, let's talk about Mr. Logan Gilbert. We talked about him before. He's had a very good season, but he has been getting hit around a little bit in the last couple games, as well as losing his command. He's given up a total of 13 hits and 11 earned runs in his last 2 starts. That is not good. That's versus the Twins and the Royals. And also what I don't like to see is hasn't had his command. He has 8 walks in his last 3 starts, and he is now facing up against the number 1 offense in Major League Baseball versus righties in the last 3 weeks. They're number 1 in the following: WRC plus, OPS, batting average, and the list goes on and on. And oh, by the way, they have the 5th lowest K rate and the 10th highest walk rate. This team is clicking on all cylinders offensively right now. And a big part of that, Aaron Judge. We talked about before. We hit his hit prop on Sunday. He's absolutely heating up. He knew that day was coming. And Juan Soto is just doing Juan Soto things. He is finally living up to the hype. I've been a little hard on him in the last couple of years, but he is playing well there in New York right now. So I think it's going to be a very tough matchup for Logan Gilbert. I think the Yankees at home are going to be able to score some runs. And then second, Marcus Stroman. Now, if you know Marcus Stroman, he's never been a guy that misses a lot of at-bats or a lot of bats. He doesn't throw very hard, and he relies on weak contact, relies on his defense, relies on his command. At home, he hasn't done that great. Not surprising in that stadium, but he has around a 4 ERA, so it's nothing special. But the real issue he's had this year has been command. It has been his command. You saw in the pitcher report, he has 11.8% walk rate and a 19.9% K rate. That's just not a good combo right there. When you have a below average K rate and a below average walk rate as well. He's facing a Mariners offense. Let's face it, I make fun of them all the time. They're not a great offense. They haven't been since 1912. But they've been decent lately. In the last 3 weeks, they are average, right there in the middle of the pack, and WRC plus and average and all these different things. So they're doing okay. Stroman struggled a little bit versus lefties. Cal Raleigh, the switch hitting catcher for the Mariners, big power hitter. He could do some damage. Luke Raley's caught fire a little bit. They got some lefties who could do some damage. And I think they can get enough runs here to make sure this total goes over. Again, we only need 8 total runs. And then you look at the bullpens. Yes, the Yankees bullpen is good. It's very good this year, no doubt about it. Mariners bullpen's been pretty good this year as well, even though they're dealing with some injuries. But by the time the 7th inning comes around, I don't think we're going to need many runs, to be honest with you. I think they can get some runs. I almost took the over 4.5 in the first 5 innings. I just didn't want to get screwed by, a 2 or 3 run inning in the 6th or 7th inning. So it's a hitter's ballpark, literal wiffle ballpark there in good old New York. So give me the over 7.5 with an elite offense and an average offense and 2 pitchers who I think can be hit around a little bit. So over 7.5 is bet number 1. All right, before we get into our final 2 bets, I got to tell you about this incredible promotion with BetMGM. You just got to click the link below in the description for BetMGM and new users. First bet offer up to $1,500 paid back in bonus bets if you don't win that first bet. It's an incredible deal. You want to go sign up and then go take a big chance and bet 500, 600, whatever it is. If you lose, you get it back in bonus bets. It's an incredible way to just kind of start your bankroll because you're either going to hit that bet or you're going to get it back in bonus bets. So it's an incredible deal. Limited time only, like I said, for new users. Go click that BetMGM link below And again, if you're already thinking, well, I already got a sports book somewhere else, it is always a recommendation of mine to have more than one sports book. It allows you more odds and more opportunities to get some winners. So go check out BetMGM. Of course, you must be 21 years or older to gamble. If you have a gambling problem, call or text 1-800-GAMBLER. All right, back to the bets. All right, this next one takes us out to Toronto, Canada, where the Blue Jays are hosting the Chicago White Sox. Blue Jays money line minus 205, White Sox money line plus 170, and a total of 7.5 runs. I have another game bet on this one. It's not what you're expecting. Give me the White Sox on the money line at plus 170 on DraftKings. I'm going to put a half unit on this. You guys do what you want, but let's just talk through this. I'm trying to take more chances with plus money because I think there's a lot of opportunities out there in the MLB that I am missing with that. So let's talk about this one with plus money. I love the value here with the White Sox. They have Eric Fedde on the mound. I've talked about it, how surprised I've been. I'm not surprised anymore. He just is good. He's a good pitcher. He took a year off from the majors, went to Korea, won the Cy Young or whatever it's called over there in Korea. I didn't know that actually. Someone pointed that out a couple weeks ago to me, but and he's just been unbelievable. And he's actually been one of the most profitable starting pitchers in the major leagues this year. The White Sox have won his last 4 starts. The last 4 times he has taken mound, the White Sox have won the game. And I'm going to bet you that they're probably underdogs in every single one of them. I think the books are not quite catching up to him. I know the White Sox offense has struggled a little bit, but he's just been solid. 2.60 ERA, 2.68 expected ERA. He is missing more bats than usual than his normal numbers. 23.6% K rate. 2 years ago, if you just want to dig in, because I had to dig in. I was like, what is going on with this guy? He wasn't even throwing a sweeper or a splitter. Now he's throwing those 2 pitches a total of 44% of the time. Opponents are hitting 225 off the sweeper, 190 off of that splitter with a 177 expected average. I mean, it is tough to hit. He's got better pitches. He's worked on some things. He doesn't really throw a fastball like at all, but he has given up 4 or less hits in 5 of his last 7 starts. He has been tough to hit. He's now facing a Jays offense who, let's just face it, in the last few years, they're just average, maybe slightly above average. We thought they were going to be some elite offense. They're just not. They're, 5 games under 500? This team is just kind of whatever. And I think Toronto fans will say that. They've been very average versus righties in the last 3 weeks versus righties. 14th in batting average. They're only hitting 242. 19th best WRC plus. Weighted runs created. An overall offensive metric to tell how well you are scoring runs. 7th lowest walk rate. So, I mean, they're not doing a lot of things well on offense. And now we go to the other side. Jose Barrios takes him out for the Jays. You know I talk about his negative regression and all that quite a bit. He has a low 2.82 ERA, but a 4.61 expected ERA. He gives up some hard contact. He doesn't miss a lot of bats like we've talked about as below average K rate. And now he's taking on the White Sox offense. I get it. The White Sox are not great. They have an 87 WRC plus in the last 3 weeks compared to the Jays 96. They're both below average. It is what it is. White Sox hitting 244 versus righties last 3 weeks. Jays, like I mentioned earlier, 242. Hasn't been that different, honestly, to with these two teams. I think the Jays are a better overall offense, but the White Sox have a top 10 lowest K rate versus righties as well last 3 weeks. They have a 130 ISO power, so they're hitting for some power, which is actually better than the Jays. I'm not sitting here saying the White Sox are better. What I'm saying is all these things is because we're getting plus 170. I mean, this is a straight value pick. The Jays have not. I mean, the Jays are maybe just name alone right now. But again, like I said, like they're 5 games under 500. They're not some elite team or some scary team. And then you go to their bullpen. The Blue Jays have the 3rd highest bullpen ERA in the entire MLB. The White Sox are definitely better than that. The Jays have a 5 ERA. The White Sox have a 3.83 ERA. Obviously, in one game, you never know what's going to happen. Romano, the closer for the Jays, threw yesterday. It was only like 1/3 of an inning. He's probably still available, obviously. But it's not like the Jays have a lot of advantages here. And again, I'm getting plus 170. So give me the better starting pitcher, at least an even starting pitcher with 2 offenses that have been kind of middling. Give me that White Sox better bullpen. I will take them on the money line at plus 170, but I'm scared because it is the White Sox. So give it to me for a half unit. And that is my second best bet. All right, this third bet takes us out to Kansas City where the Royals are hosting the Detroit Tigers. Royals moneyline minus 118, Tigers moneyline minus 102, total of 9 runs. Another barn burner of a game. I got a player prop for you in this one that I absolutely love. Give me Reese Olson over 16.5 outs recorded at minus 125 on DraftKings. Reese's Pieces has been good this year. Let's be honest. We bet him last start that he had against the Marlins, and he just absolutely crushed it. But this year, 2.09 ERA, 2.87 expected ERA, and this guy is only giving up 6.1 hits per 9 innings. It's just been incredible. Opponents are hitting 133 off the changeup, 143 off the slider, 137 off the fastball. He has literally just not been getting hit. He throws those three pitches, by the way, 75% of the time combined. Like I said, we just backed him last start. He faced the Marlins, which is obviously a worse offense, although they have been swinging it better lately. But he went 7 innings. He was just showing off. He didn't need 7. He only needed 6, but he showed off for us. He has gone 17 plus outs now in 4 of his last 6 starts. One of those 4 starts was against the same Royals team. Yes, it can be worrisome a little bit that he's facing a team for a second time, but it's not back to back. It was a little while ago. But 7 innings, 3 hits, and 1 earned run is what he did against the Royals team. This guy's been one of those guys like Eric Fetty. I wasn't ready for him. He's like 23, 24, so obviously he's not just some veteran, but he's been good. It's been shocking, but he has walked 2 to 3 batters in 4 of his last 5 games. So the control has sometimes lost him a little bit. He's not walking 5, 6 guys or anything like that, but he did have 0 walks last game against the Miami Marlins. But here's why I don't mind the matchup. The Royals have walked at the 5th lowest rate against righties in the last 3 weeks. Only 6.4% walk rate. They've been about average versus righties in the last 3 weeks as well, at 14th in on-base percentage. And the Royals have just not seen a lot of pitches. They're a bottom 10 team where, in regards to them seeing a few pitches, whether it's them swinging early, them just getting ahead in the count and just attacking the ball. So, I mean, it's just a good option for Reese Olson, a good matchup for him, is what I was trying to say. In regards to outs props, because like I said, the Royals are not a team that's just giving you 8, 9 pitch at bats. They have seen, I think it was the 7th fewest pitches or 6th fewest pitches in the major leagues this year. So give me Reese Olson to get it done again for us, over 16.5 outs at minus 125 as our third and final best bet. And let's check out the recap. All right, before we get to this bets recap, I do want to correct something. The Royals have seen the 10th fewest pitches this season, just so you know, which is always something you like to see when you're taking an over outs prop on the opponent starting pitcher. So, anyways, we got the over 7.5 in the Mariners and Yankees game at minus 122. White Sox on the money line at plus 170 for a half unit. And then Reese's Pieces over 16.5 outs recorded at minus 125. Again, any added plays will be in the pinned comments below. They will be on X and they will be on Discord, which is free. Go click that link. We got a lot of sports talk day in and day out, and it's a lot of fun. So thank you guys for watching every single day. Hopefully we can hit 25,000 subscribers by the end of this week. But either way, I just love talking sports with you guys. So hope you guys have a great Monday. We'll talk to you soon.